What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more acid-trance / hard-trance. Indeed, this is the kind of track that I think if you ask most people, they would call it hard-trance, but it does have a prominent acid element. So to me, all hard-trance from the 90s with a prominent acid component, or certainly if it has multiple acid layers, to me, you could call it either. It's hard trance, it's acid trance. I don't know if everyone uses those labels the same way. Perhaps some people withhold the label acid trance for tracks that are entirely built around the acid work, where the melody and the bass line and so on are acid. But again, any hard trance that has screaming acid work from the 90s, to me, you could just as easily call it acid trance. But whatever you call it, this is an absolute classic. It's actually a request, too. We're going to listen to a request from a friend of mine on Soundcloud. It goes by SlimGenix. And a couple months ago, he suggested reacting to Wippenberg, which is Olaf Dieckmann, I believe, and his track Neuro Dancer. This is an all-time classic. It's from '95, so this is one 28 years old. Get into 2023, Shnootz. But yeah, this is a classic. Many people who went to hard trance parties and know, hard trance, acid trance from the 90s will know this tune. Admittedly, I think I used the Neuronoid remix perhaps just as much, if not slightly more, in my mixes over the years, but all three versions are good. Now there's an original version, we'll start with that one. There's a club mix, I believe also by Wippenberg, and then there's the Neuronoid remix. And indeed, I don't know if I've reacted to it, but again, I'm a big fan of Neuronoid. They've made tunes, I believe, under some different names. I want to say, are they the duo that's Brainvibe and Chillin' Force? Not sure. But bottom line, there's a great Neuronoid track called Neuro Bashing. I don't think I've reacted to it. I've used it in mixes over the years. As I see their name here, it's making me think I gotta react to Neuro Bashers. But like I said, for this release, we'll start with Wippenberg's original version, and it makes the point here, it lists the BPM on the back. The Neuronoid remix is the fastest, 158, which, again, that's like 90s hard trance. But this is 150, so it's hardly slower. So let's get it. From 1995 on Hyper Hype Records, this is Wippenberg, the track is Neuro Dancer, and this is the original version. I'm going to assume 45. Yeah. And I'll look into that matter of if Neuronoid is the duo I'm thinking of. Because there's a duo that's made tunes under a number of different names, including Brainvibe. And I'm thinking maybe it's them? I could be wrong though. Obviously suspenseful. I mean, it's not even like a full bass line, it's just a little acid gurgle. A real aerial attack. It's like acid air raid kind of stuff. Like double time. I don't know if it's the hats. I don't think it's the ride cymbal, but it's the high percussion went double time there. you think of this track, you think of that line. And now, the main melody you will think of when you think of this track. Sort of a analog synth horn in its styling. Just that gurgle. Acid is just, again, this relentless aerial assault acid. Remember if it's, because I think I'm thinking of the Neuronoid mix, but in one of the versions there's a real, it starts bending and playing with the acid in the next part. We'll see if it's this version. I'm just a little ambiguous or vague. Probably all the versions to some extent. Know the horns coming back in. It's like, basically you know this isn't the outro. I do believe the acid guns are going to come back first though, along with the gurgle. One of the reasons I like a lot of old school trance, hard, acid, progressive, is because you get multiple iterations of the melt. Like you get the intro, the second section, the breakdown, the big part, an interlude, but then another breakdown, another drop of the melody, maybe with some extra stuff, and then the outro. Sometimes, like more modern tracks, I feel like a lot of times it's like intro, big part, outro. That's it. Very like big, like visionary synth. Perhaps the noble resistance against the acid air raid. I like how, I I move my feet, I'm grooving the whole time, and my cat is just like comatose in my lap. She's moving around because I'm foot bobbing. She doesn't even know. I love the outro too. It doesn't just go to a completely flat, like, kick in a hat and then stop. It acid gurgles its way and dismantles and turns off. Yeah, top track. Admittedly, one I hadn't played in a while, which is why I was very pleased when I saw that request, which admittedly, it was a little while ago, and then I even mentioned to him, like, hey, I had a problem finding the record, and also it slipped my mind for a little bit, but I did want to get back to it. So yeah, like I said, top track. I'm going to react to the Neuronoid remix sometime in the next couple weeks, because still while it's fresh with the original here, because I do remember using the Neuronoid remix a lot because I was already fond of their work. In fact, since I have, I think, Discogs out, why don't we check, just so I can clear up in the moment, if Neuronoid is the people that I'm thinking of. It is. Okay, so Brainvibe, Chillin' Force, I was exactly right. But it's 3 guys. Oh, and it's Olaf Dieckmann. So the Wippenberg guy is part of their group too. Okay, so I'm glad I did look this up. But yeah, we'll come back for their release, Peace and Love, on Time Unlimited, same year, 95, because that's the one that has neurobashing. And I'm a huge fan of that tune. But I'm happy I remembered that right. So shout out to these guys, because seriously, the Wippenberg track, like all versions of it here, Neuro Dancer. I have the Brainvibe release, It's Hot, another like amazing release. I have a very rare white label Chillin' Force, I Feel Free, I think it's called. I don't know if I've done a reaction to that one. If I haven't, I should. I know I've used it in mixes, but yeah, so there's like it was a white label, I think like test press, or at least like very like promo release only. So I remember I had to drop a pretty penny to get that one, but I'm very happy to have done it because it's a classic. So again, shout out to these guys. Do let me know what you think of the original mix of Neuro Dancer, and as I said, we'll come back for the Neuronoid remix. Peace.